Upon learning that Jaime Lannister was in Winterfell alone, Daenerys Targaryen held court to determine his fate. Though Jaime came to fulfill his oath, he explained that his sister would not, and instead raised a powerful force to secure the Seven Kingdoms under her rule, comprised of the Lannister army, the Iron Fleet, and the Golden Company. Furious over this betrayal, Daenerys did not trust Jaime's intentions, knowing of him only as the man who murdered her father, and Sansa readily agreed, listing his various crimes against the Starks. And while Tyrion came to his defense, the Queen disregarded his opinion due to his numerous failures since coming to Westeros. However, in the end, Jaime was saved by Brienne of Tarth, who recounted their history and vouched for his honor. Trusting Brienne, Sansa agreed he could stay, as did Jon Snow, leaving Daenerys to reluctantly accept his service. When the meeting was over, Jaime found Bran by the Heart Tree and apologized for pushing him from the tower window all those years earlier, only to learn that boy no longer existed, and the Three-Eyed Raven would exact no vengeance, as he needed help to fight the coming battle. Jaime then found Brienne of Tarth, who was charged with defending their left flank, requesting to serve under her command. Inside the castle, Jorah convinced Daenerys to forgive her hand Tyrion Lannister, as his mind was valuable, and to try mending her relationship with Lady Sansa. Though the two women bonded over their shared perspective as female rulers in male-dominated societies, they reached an impasse over the fate of the North, as Daenerys wished to rule it as queen, while Sansa and her Northmen swore to never again surrender their independence. Their discussion was then interrupted by the arrival of Theon Greyjoy, who informed the Queen that his sister was retaking the Iron Islands in her name before Sansa welcomed him into the service of Winterfell. After racing past the army of the dead to reach their allies, Ed Tullet, Tormund Giantsbane, Beric Dondarrion, and the rest of the Night's Watch reunited with Jon Snow, warning him that the White Walkers would arrive by morning. Ordering their people to begin final preparations for a battle that could determine the fate of all humanity, Jon Snow called a war council to discuss their plan. Fighting with Dragonglass and Valyrian steel, the Stark Alliance comprised of the Northern Bannerlords, the armies of the Vale, the Night's Watch, the remaining Brotherhood without banners, the Free Folk, the Unsullied of Essos, the Dothraki Horse Lords, 2 dragons, and a small contingent of Ironborn. In addition to their warriors, the alliance was made up of many unique and significant heroes from around the world, including Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen, Sansa Stark, Arya Stark, Tyrion Lannister, Jaime Lannister, Theon Greyjoy, Jon Royce, Jorah Mormont, Lyanna Mormont, Davos Seaworth, Samwell Tarly, Brienne of Tarth, Podrick Payne, Beric Dondarrion, Sandor Clegane, Ed Tullet, Tormund Giantsbane, Grey Worm, Missandei, Varys the Spider, Gendry, the Direwolf Ghost, and the Three-Eyed Raven Bran Stark. Since it was clear the army of the dead was too vast to be defeated in a traditional battle, Jon organized their strategy around killing their leader, the Night King, the father of their species, which in theory should destroy the others. In order to trap their target, Bran offered himself as bait, claiming that the Night King wanted to erase the world, and to do so must kill the Three-Eyed Raven, who possessed their collective memory. Though his family was against the idea, it was decided Bran would remain out in the open by the Castle Godswood to await the Night King, protected only by Theon Greyjoy and the Ironborn, while the rest of their forces held off the White Walker army. With their plans made and people organized, the heroes of the Stark Alliance spent the night in fellowship with their companions, trying to enjoy themselves and relax as much as possible before the great battle began. Having fallen in love while serving under Queen Daenerys, Grey Worm and Missandei made plans for after the war, deciding they would go to her homeland of Naath, where his Unsullied could use their skills to protect the peaceful Na'vi. Atop the walls of the castle, Jon Snow and his direwolf Ghost met with their Night's Watch brothers, Sam Tarly and Ed Tullet, reminiscing over how far they'd come. Inside Winterfell, Tyrion Lannister, his brother Jaime, Brienne of Tarth, Podrick Payne, Davos Seaworth, and Tormund Giantsbane shared a drink and warmed themselves by a fire. When Tormund learned that Westerosi tradition forbid his lady love Brienne from being made a knight, he was outraged, and Jaime soon realized that because any knight could make a knight, it was in his power to bestow the title. And so, Brienne's lifelong dream was at last fulfilled when she took a knee and Jaime performed the ritual, leaving those in attendance to cheer happily and proclaim her a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Off in a dark corner atop the walls, Sandor Clegane and Beric Dondarrion drank together, joined briefly by Arya before she left to meet Gendry, who presented the special weapon she requested, a dragonglass spear she named Dragonflyer. They then spent the night together, as Arya wanted to experience intimacy with a man before she died. After spending some time with his brothers, Sam found Jorah Mormont, the son of the man he most admired, Jeor Mormont, former Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and gave him Heartsbane, the Valyrian steel sword of the Tarly family. Since Sam was not a skilled warrior, the sword did him little good, and so Jorah swore to wield it in his father's name. Sam then spent one last night with Gilly and their baby. Unsure why Jon Snow was now acting distant and cold towards her, Daenerys found him in the crypts beneath the castle, where he revealed the truth about his mother Lyanna Stark and her marriage to his father Rhaegar Targaryen. Realizing this made him the last male heir of the Targaryen line, Daenerys was shocked and angry, expressing suspicion that this information came exclusively from Jon's brother Bran and best friend Sam. Yet before they could discuss the issue further, the warning horns began to blast, signaling that the White Walkers had arrived. Love Game of Thrones? Then be sure to check out the new book, The Thrones Effect, written by a number of respected A Song of Ice and Fire YouTubers, including GOT Academy, Because Geek, Secrets of the Citadel, Grey Area, Ideas of Ice and Fire, History of Westeros, and Smokescreen, with Chapter 5, titled Eye of the Beholder, written by CivilizationEx, exploring the various ways the characters can be interpreted, as well as how the audience reacted to their decisions. If interested, click on the link in the description box below, where The Thrones Effect is currently available as an ebook, while the physical copy and audiobook will be released soon. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Sir Tanner the Skinner, Kristen Green Eyes of the Company of the Cat, John Shadowcat, and Fen the Sundowner. If you'd like to help CivilizationEx, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and click on the links to see more.